What people have told me what they love about the book, one of the things they love about Story Intelligence is I provide a whole heap of examples of people using stories, whether that's stories they've shared in presentations or around values or in speeches. And I wanted to share one of those stories with you. This story comes from Pia Silva, who I first met in 2024 in New York when she did a storytelling workshop. And this is the story she shared. So I'll share the story and then talk a little bit about the impact it had. She was running a training workshop for sort of people running their own business. So this was her story. Back in 2009, my partner and I were living just a few blocks away, barely scraping by. We were doing catering, gig work, freelancing, whatever we could to make ends meet. One of the ways we brought in extra money was by renting out our apartment upstairs on Airbnb. Over time, I started noticing a pattern. Every month, dozens of guests would check in following the same instructions to unlock the door. 80% of the people had no problems. They followed the instructions, found the key box, turned the key, and got inside. Another 10 to 15% struggled at first. They would text me saying the key wasn't working, and I'd tell them, I promise it works, it's just a little sticky, keep trying. And sure enough, they'd jiggle the key and a little more and the door would open. Then there was the 5%. No matter what I told them, they refused to believe that the lock worked. They insisted it was broken and would not keep trying. The only way they were getting inside was if I showed up in person and opened the door for them. I started to realize there are two kinds of people in this world. Some will take the key and jiggle the lock until it opens. They'll persist. They'll trust that it works even when it takes longer than expected. And then there are others who, the moment they hit resistance, decide the lock is broken and give up. I'm sharing this because it reminds me of how different people tackle the work we do on these retreats. Some of you will take the key we give you, put it in the lock and jiggle it until the door opens, unlocking a completely new and exciting space. Others will jiggle the key a few times, get frustrated, and decide the hallway's good enough. Or you'll assume the lock is broken and the key doesn't work. But here's the truth. No matter where you are in your business, there's always a door waiting to be opened. You may not even know the space exists yet, but it's there and it's valuable. You just have to be willing to keep jiggling the lock until it opens. Now, I love that story. In fact, my editor said it was one of their favorite stories. After the retreat Pia ran, can you believe that 2 people got tattoos of a key to remind them that they needed to keep jiggling the lock? Now that, my friends, is a powerful story, that people even get a tattoo around the message. I don't think anyone's ever got a tattoo from a story I've shared. Well, not that I know of. If you have, let me know. So I just wanted to provide an example of one of the many stories in the book.